Hello, my dear friends. Yes, it's me, the Barefoot Monk, Brother Sean. And this is video 3 in the series of the 4 seasons and how they impact upon the soul journey in reawakening the divine within us. And this series, we're looking at spring. And spring is, next to autumn, has got to be one of my favorites. Why do I say favorite? Well, living here in this rural community in the South Lakes, we're surrounded by farms, and in spring we look forward to seeing the spring lamb gambolling with its little brothers and sisters over the fells. Oh, it is just the most invigorating experience to see these new, few days old spring lambs just going at it hell for leather and not a care in the world. And its mother, of course, is exhausted, so she carries on recouping her strength. She probably goes back into the winter season. But spring, what does spring say for you on your spiritual path? Well, spring for me as an Interfaith Franciscan is about embracing a renewed energy. And as a Christian Franciscan who embraces all faiths, spring is a time that I love so much because we have the festival of Easter, a beautiful festival where we see the power of God's love in action. When our loving Father, Mother God allows their Son, Jesus, the barefoot Galilean, to incarnate as a helpless child and then to go through his ministry and then to end up being crucified as an act of love for you and for me. The mystery around spring has so many beautiful connotations for the soul. So how do you engage with that spiritual springtime in your faith journey? What is it you can do? Well, first, if you're living in the inner city, I would take time out and get on the national bus coach and get yourself up into the countryside and just stand by the farmers, the gate of the field, and watch those spring lambs. Say nothing, do nothing, see everything. It's a meditation. It really is. I have walked along the estuary here when the tide has been in, and I've seen all the mothers with the spring lambs bleating for their little ones who've gone off and got lost somewhere in the bracken. And you know, I've stood there and I've just visualized the Good Shepherd. And for those of us who are Christian, you'll know the story of the Good Shepherd, a wonderful parable. And Jesus said, "My sheep who listen to my voice, they know me by my name, because when I call them, they come." And he talks at great length about the Good Shepherd who becomes aware of a sheep in distress, one of his flock, you or me. And when we cry out like the little helpless lamb, the mother comes running to rescue that helpless little lamb. And so it is with God. We are rescued no matter where we go to, no matter what depths we fall to in our life. There is nothing but love. So the season of spring is the prodigal son, a loving father, embrace a son and give him renewed energy and acceptance that all is forgiven. But how do we nurture that spring in our step? What must we do? Well, many of the great spiritual writers and teachers all say the same thing, but language differently. And their message is not for the ego, it is for the heart. the heart that connects with the soul, the gateway to God, the gateway to nirvana, the gateway to peace. Springtime, when you see the trees bursting forth the new shoots from being dormant in winter, they come alive. The forests, oh, they provide such shelter for all the little birds who are busy preparing their nests. Do you know something interesting happened here in the summer? We had several nests around the front door of our little monastery, hidden in the beautiful Cononistor. And we could hear this sound at night as we were sat quietly in silence here in this very room, and I could hear this buzzing. And then when I went outside and put the outside light on, there was this little bird, a little sparrow, sat quietly, the male sparrow, keeping an eye out for his wife and the little chicks. And he'd be off looking for worms and various grubs to feed them. And then, of course, we had the thrush and the blackbirds. They came repeatedly. And it was so beautiful to see that renewed vigor and strength, how they took care of their young. And spring is a time of reawakening the divine within you. It's a time of allowing the divine essence cocoon you in that place of love. And we know we're loved when we embrace the divine through nature. Nature is the cathedral of life. And in this cathedral you hear the choristers singing to God, the birds. And there's nothing more beautiful to see the swallow come at the end of spring to announce the summer. And they have flown all the way from Africa, the most beautiful little birds. But nature is just a gift, and spring, it's just the whole of God's creation coming alive. What does that say for your spirit that may be feeling overburdened, heavily laden? How do you reawaken that spring in your step? What is it you can do? Well, the first is to just come and embrace it and sit quietly. Sit quietly in that divine oneness. Say nothing. Do nothing. Just be yourself. Be still and allow Mother Earth, nature, the beautiful energies of the trees, the landscape, the sunrise, the sunsets, Brother Moon, Brother Sun and Sister Moon, embrace you. And just allow this mantle of love enfold you. And there in silence, embrace your God. Because you know, when you are helpless and vulnerable, the best place to start is the heart. And forgive yourself for denying yourself the wonderful opportunities that God has for us. You know, for many years as a Catholic Christian and as a nursing mom, I was so rigid that I just didn't allow myself to experience what I now embrace every day. And that is the beauty of love, the beauty of simplicity, the beauty of nature enfolding and allowing me embrace her gifts. It wasn't God who abandoned me. It was I who abandoned God through my illness, severe depression, and of course, being a nurse manager for a number of years, you get so caught up in the minutiae of living and surviving. But today, on the spiritual path, we have a duty to take care of our soul. We have a duty to allow ourselves time out, to experience the spiritual springtime, and allow our soul embrace the face of God. Namaste. Shalom inshallah, pax et bonum, Om Shanti. Peace be with you. Thank you.